Yep. We're gonna rock and roll. Where my record button at? All right, here we go. Here we go. Hey, what's going on? Beast Mode Brandon back again. How you guys doing? Hopefully you guys had a blessed, green, prosperous day. Today was a little bit lackluster in the beginning, but then we got that move, and everybody that was in the live room was green. So that's always a good situation to be in. I mean, we want to be green every single day. Realistically, we try to be green 4 out of 5 days. That's the goal. So anyway, I'm gonna do a little trading tune up, just show you guys some of the things that we've been doing. Some people kind of missed it. The masterclass, it is posted inside the group. You can go back and rewatch it. But I just like to get everything prepped because every Friday you got friends or family that you or yourself, and you are inside the mastermind. You get to come in and live trade, navigate the markets in a live market, ask questions or anything that you want to do. Of course, I will call out the trades that I like, that I'm personally taking. Not financial advice. I do eat crayons. And it kind of brings me back to my why. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I believe make more to bless more, right? My objective is to, like I said, for you guys to make more, to bless more. And then inside your hearts, whatever's inside your hearts, you give back to your community, friends, family, charities, whatever you want to do, while making the world a better place for all. So that's really why I do the things that I do. I could trade by myself, do what I need to do, but it's like, for one, that's not really fun. For two, when we could do it collectively together, that's a better feeling. If that resonates with you, and that's something that you're trying to do, make more to bless more. Just put a one in the box real quick, and kind of put me in right why I like to give back on the Friday mornings, just so hey, they can come in and see what we do. They can see that we not a robot. We the real deal. You know what I'm saying? In the end, we just following the plan and what we do on a consistent basis. So we're gonna dive right in. I see you guys all rocking. Let's roll. So let me share my screen. But yeah, so that's what I strive for. I'm making the world a better place, one trade at a time. Giving back. So all right, let's roll with it. We're gonna go right in what we're trying to do here. Let me see, get the chart I need to get. All right, so tomorrow when you come into the room, I have a couple different techniques, styles that I personally like to use to day trade, what I personally call out, what I personally been trading over the last 4 years collectively together. So what this call is we're going to walk through some of the things that we're going to call out tomorrow. Why? Yeah, we all could take action together tomorrow, together in the markets. You know what I mean? So it goes back to that statement, like I said in the beginning. We want to make more to bless more. We give back what's in our hearts to our friends, families, charities. We making the world a better place. So let's dive right in. All right. Number one trade that you're going to hear me call tomorrow is our floor and ceiling, right? And this is going to be this chart right here. Let me straighten all this out, reset the chart. So what you're going to see right here, you're going to see, now why is this so small? There we go. All right, so you're going to see this right here. A simple yet powerful technique. You could trade any symbol you really want, but we take it one step further. You hear Jamar, Mike, they calling trades out on the AI side, some things to put on your watch list and stuff like that. We try to take things one step further. We all got the scoreboard. So we take this technique and use the scoreboard, and that's how I'm finding stocks every single day. We do have a couple people that's inside the mastermind. If you go into the Discord, every day I try to give you the stocks that I'm specifically watching, and I'm going to show you exactly how I'm getting it so that you could do the same exact thing for yourself as well. You scroll up right here. You actually scroll down, the alerts, stocks and options alerts, right here. Right here, rise and shine. See where it says Amazon and Disney for ceiling breaks? We got Baba and Meta for floor breaks. That's 4 stocks that you could have take action on today while sitting back, being patiently waiting for this to manifest and give us that setup. What gives us that setup, right? It's going to be this right here. You sit there, wait patiently, and you're going to see over here. Let me make this a little bit bigger so you can see. And we got this right here. If we break the ceiling, right, we are taking our buys or calls in the option world, and we want to hold it till we get close to this purple area. This is a straight price action technique and strategy, like I said, that I personally been using for over 4 years now. In the end, it's just about being consistent with it, right? If it does break the ceiling, you got two places, right, that you can set your stop out. You can put your stop out right here at the midline, or you can put your stop out right here at the floor, right? On the reverse side, if we break the floor, which we called out live today in the room, right? If we break the floor, we're taking our puts right here. Did we get close to this purple line? Put a yes or a no in the box. Did we get close to the purple line? And would that have given us an actionable level, right, to take some profits, right? Did we get to the level or did we not? What's the rule? We break the floor. We want to get close or in the vicinity of this purple line to the downside. If we break the ceiling, we want to get close to this vicinity to the upside, right? Guess what? That's a winning trade. So you can accurately take this, go back and see, and build the confidence for yourself. And this is just one of the techniques I'm going to show you before we move along the other one. I'm old school. I write everything down. I got the notebook right here. So you could go back and Edgar could be like, yo, Brandon, what were you watching this day? Or Antonio might be like, what were you watching this day? I have it written down. And that's how I understood and know the power of it. Not only that, but if you come here and put on the 15-minute time frame just to get a lot more data, guess what we have right here? This tool tells us the probability of it, right? This tool tells me the probability of it. So same thing right here. In the futures traders, we got futures traders that they don't like options. Guess what? If you knew over time you had an 83% or an 88% probability, right, to get a winning trade out of this, is that something that you could resonate with and take that trade? If that's something that you could do, just put a 1 in the box real quick, right? CL is actually one of our cash cows that we do trade each and every day. A couple different techniques that we do. Just take one trade a day and walk away, right? So we zoom out here and we see a couple different days. You can see situations just like this. Guess what? We broke the floor right there. Did we get close to that purple line? Doesn't look like much, but 83 down here to 62. That is 21 cents on CL on the future side. That right there for one contract is about $210. That's not bad, right? That could be something to grow your account and walk away with it. That's one day. The next day, we broke the floor here. Guess what? Price comes down. There you go. Today, we broke the floor. Came down close to that target. The last 3 days, guess what? You had 3 opportunities to take profits out of that symbol or asset, right? And it presents itself every single day. The only difference is we watch different symbols each and every day. Why? Because there's always something moving, and we try to capture the ones that are moving. So always stay plugged in, see what we're watching, and then keep it on your radar. That's just one technique. But if you went back even more, it broke the ceiling. There's 4 days, 4 winners. Broke the floor, grand slam. There's 5 days, 5 winners. And I'm not going to keep going back to show you all this. But the last 6 days, it was winners, right? 6 days, 6 winners. But this tool right here tells you the probability of it, of the previous data that had already played out. So it does all the work for you. And if you are a mastermind and you want this for your charts, just fill out the form and we unlock you. You know what I'm saying? All right, moving along. So tomorrow, if I say I'm taking a ceiling break or a floor break, does everybody understand what I'm talking about? If you do, just put a Y in the box right now just for yes. Put a Y in the box so that I can make sure everybody understands. If you attend live trading tomorrow, and we call it out because there's about 20 to 30 people that come trade with me every single day, and they've been with me for 3, 4, 5 years. They're actually watching symbols, right? They're watching things that we keep on our watch list. Why? Because one individual can only watch so many things. On my chart, I got 4 screens, but I got the room chart for one. Up in the upper corner, I got one that's 4, and I like to keep it at that. So I watch a total of 7 symbols, but I'm not taking all 7 of them. I'm trying to pick out what's the highest probability, right? Which brings me to this next chart that we have. That right here, we all have, is our scoreboard. How am I getting these stocks to trade the floor and ceiling, right? Real quick. Come right down here to the hour time frame. Wait for it to load up. And for tomorrow, guess what? I'm going to say, what do we have for buys and what do we have for sells? Well, I see GLD as a strong sell. I see BABA as a strong sell. Do you want to know what I'm probably going to be shorting tomorrow, or if it breaks the floor, I'm going to take? That's a layup trade right there. If it breaks the ceiling, I won't take it. And that's what I'm doing. We're using the AI to get us the high probability movers built into this. Right now, this can change overnight, right? Greg, you should have the scoreboard. If you don't, you just fill out the form. I'll make sure someone sends you a thing, or I believe it's in it's in like the welcome email. I'm pretty sure it's in there. So we'll get you squared away. Anyway, we're gonna keep moving along though, right? We're gonna keep moving along, and that's how I'm getting it. So I'm gonna hide the scoreboard. Everybody should have Swingmaster Pro AI, right? How are we trading with this? All right, let's come here and put let's put ES on the chart, and we're gonna come down here to the 5 minute time frame, right? Because not everybody is a scalper. I like to take trades on a smaller time frame, but check it out. This is a trade, or this is a technique that we use, right? In the room. If we call a boogie call or a boogie put, this is the second technique that you are going to see or hear me say that I'm taking the trades. What the heck's Brandon talking about? Well, Mike, he'd be saying like Moonshot Scott. He's saying Swing King. We like to have nicknames for everything we do. I call this technique specifically boogie, and this is all it is right here. If you got Swingmaster Pro AI and your candles are all red right here, right? They're all red. I have a bias to take put trades or sells. I'm not interested in taking this buy right here. There could be a level right there, right? Or a zone. And you could say, well, I'm taking the buy out of the zone. For me, I'm a trend trader, so I want to take something in trend because probability says over time it's going to play out and give me a larger move. If you would Google it, it'll say trades in trend typically move twice than what counter trend trades do. So what am I trying to do here, right? If you're not a scalper or you are something looking for a little bit larger of a move, all you have to do is wait for, you see these red arrows right here? When those candles print, does everybody see them right there? Here's one, right? Everybody see that? Check it out. Market opens up 9:30. We got our first trade right there. Here's our entry. When that candle closes, here's our stop out. Guess what? There's a winning trade. We get a reset. We got another reversal arrow. Up here will be our stop out. Never came up to stop you out. Comes down and pushes down. This move right here, right? From 6,004 down here to 59.80. That right there is $1,000 move, right? From this entry right here, right? Where my curve, let me get a different color. That's a little bit hard to see. From this entry right here, all the way down here, that is 1K. Now, you're never going to get all 1K of that, but could you get 200 bucks there, 400 bucks there, 600 or 800 bucks? Absolutely. Absolutely. The idea, right, as a trader is to get 1 or 2 trades a day, walk away. We don't want to be sitting at our desks or computers all day long, right? If you are a little bit more advanced or a little bit more of a scalper like me that want to get trades even quicker, what do? I say, I come on the 5 minute, right? I see what the trend is. You see over here in this ledger, these are all time frames that tell me what the trend is. So now I'm coming in over here, I'm going to the 2 minute time frame. And I'm going to do a hybrid type setup, right? From the 1 minute to the 2 minute and 5 minute, it kind of blends it together. Why do I do this? Because check it out. I can get nice resets pretty frequently and walk away with some winners. The market opens up right here, 9:30. Guess what happened? We called this short right here, 2 minute time frame at 6,014. Stop out up here is about 60.20. So you're risking about 6 ES points, which is about $300 loss. So I would have taken a $300 loss. Guess what? Right here, I'm up 300 bucks. Up there, I'm up 600 bucks. Down here, I'm up 900 bucks. All right? Guess what? You're going to hear me say boogie put. I have a boogie put. I'm taking it. That's what I'm talking about tomorrow. Guess what? Here's our entry right there. Price pushes down, it resets. Guess what I called right here? We have another boogie put. Here's my stop out. Price rolls down. Guess what? We done for the day. We done. We don't have to hang out, chill at anymore. We just got 2 boogie puts, and we could be done. If you're a pre-market trader, you could take trades in pre-market. Like, you can trade all night long. The difference is when you trade before some news or something comes out, you got a boogie call right there. You got another boogie call right there. you got another and it's kind of chop right there. So you don't have nothing all in this because remember the candles need to be green arrow right there. Doesn't look like much, but guess what? That's 2 points. That's an easy $100 one contract. So that right there, like I said, when you say floor and ceiling breaks, do you mean price levels? Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about. If we say ceiling breaks, the going back to the chart real quick, when we say ceiling breaks, we know where the level's at. When that price is broken, that's what solidifies our entry for that specific asset. All right. Anyway, second trade, like I said, go ahead, T. Nelson. You have a question? Okay. All right. He says got it. Awesome, awesome. So the second trade, like I said, that's our boogie call, boogie put system. I only take 2-minute trades when the 5-minute is in alignment. So to me, the losses are a little bit smaller than the 5-minute, but I mean, in the end, you're going to be very, very, what I want to say, very, very good, profitable if you follow this and you trade it, and then you put your 1 or 2 hours in a day and just be done, right? That's the second trade you might hear me say. The third trade, and we're going to go to let's go to Amazon. And it works on anything. You know what I'm saying? It works on stock options, futures. It actually works on leveraged crypto. Very, very good. So I know we got a couple of crypto traders in here, but the same thing. You have your boogie put right here. There's a winner. Another boogie put. There's a winner. Here's another boogie put. Like these moves don't look like much, but check it out. 212.33 to 11.90. That's about a 40-cent drop right there in about 3 or 4 minutes. If you take in tomorrow's expiration contract, that's an easy 15 to 30% ROI just on Amazon because I trade it regularly. Easily 20, 30 cents a contract if you take at the money contracts, right? But anyway, we're gonna keep moving along. You should fill out the form, Leslie, all right? And then we got you. The next trade that we got, right, is a straight Swingmaster Pro buy or sell. What the heck's Brandon talking about? Well, if you see in the beginning, let me put on a little bit larger time frame. Let's just go to 15-minute. All you're doing is you're waiting for a buy or a sell. So you see this buy right there. It's going to put a stop loss just like you see on the chart right here. It's going to give you your entry. It's going to give you your stop loss. It's going to give you target 1, target 2, target 3. Obviously, I'm not specifically taking this trade because it's at the very end of the day. But if this gives us trades in my time of trading, I would definitely take it, right? So like right here, when this gap up, that's an earnings play. Probably wouldn't take that one, but if you did, there will be your entry. It doesn't look like much, but that right there is over a $1.50 move. So to me, it's like you had an opportunity to go risk-free. Here's another buy, another opportunity. Here's a sell, right? A little opportunity to push down. Here's a buy, opportunity to push up. So that right there in the room, we call it straight Swingmaster Pro AI buy or sell. Me, I'm looking at the 5-minute, and I'm looking at trades like this. You got a buy right there, pushes up. You got a sell. 3 sells, it pushes down. You got the buy. There's a winner. You got the buy right there. There's a winner. You got the buy right there. All right, bummer. We lost. You need to see that because we do lose. Now, I'm not going to go back and show you all this because guess what? You see where this probability is? It actually takes a compile of trades and morphs it together, and that's what gives you the probability. So every single symbol is going to have a different probability on a different time frame. For me, I like to trade 2 time frames in sync of each other, like I showed you. So I'll take these trades on a 1 or 2 minute chart if the 5 minutes in. If you do not like trading on that low of a time frame, you can just watch the 5-minute time frame, 15-minute time frame, and make sure they are in conjunction. If they are, you are going to be in a good situation, right? That right there is the third day trades that you might hear me say. The fourth and my final day trade that you hear me say in the room. Always hear me say, or you hear Mike say about Moonshot Scots with the lotto trades. This is what I'm doing right here, right? I'll be waiting for some of the levels to get called out to break, but in how I'm getting my contracts, I'm using this AI Lotto high, and I'm taking the 60-30 calls and the Lotto lows. I'm taking the 59-55. So today, I said I was getting loaded up the 59-55 puts, right? Why? Because right here, the lotto low told me to get that loaded up. That is going to give you a very, very high probability contract, right? Me, Mike, and Jamar put a lot of resources into this, and it gives us a high probability that contracts are going to give us that 50 to 100% ROI. I tell you guys to go risk free, 40 to 60%, because I'm super conservative, right? I like to be risk free as quickly as possible, but a lot of times these trades go in and push, right? So what I like to do personally, I'll put my 5 minute time frame on, right? And I'll see. I'll kind of box it in. I'll let the first 5 minute bar print, means it closes, and I'll go a little bit higher, a little bit lower. And the power with this is getting these contracts right here. You're risking about $150 to $300 typically, as long as the IV stays in sync. And guess what happens? Today, I took puts. A lot of us took puts right here. This to that right there, that's 100% ROI. If you let it run or go, which I didn't, down here, they was like 300-400%. I'm looking for that 50 to 100% consistently, day in and day out, right? So that technique, you hear me say, lotto high, lotto low, I'm getting the contracts loaded up. And when I see a break one way or another, I'm going to take it, right? Not every day it plays out just like that. Yesterday, I ended up taking the call right here because I thought I was going to break out. Once we ended up breaking down right there, walked away from the calls, took the loss. You heard me, took the loss. Then we took the put right there, and guess what? Bam! Grand slam. The day before that, this little move right there was enough to get me 50% ROI. Why did I take that? Well, I took the contract that the AI Lotto low and high allowed me to take. Come back another day. Guess what? We all took the puts right there. There's another 50 to 100% winner. Guess what? On this day, we took the calls. There's another 50 to 100% winner. Then you got Mike over there. He held it, and he got like 300-400% letting it run. So he crushed it, right? Here, we got another breakout to the upside. Guess what? Here's another 50 to 100% ROI. More realistically, that's 200 or 300% way up there. So you see the consistency over and over and over again. But the thing is like, look, if you trade this, right, we're taking 50, 60% losses, all right? In return of that, right, a real visual standpoint, if you got 5 different trading days, 3, 4, because I'm a visual guy, first day, let's just say you lost 60%. Oh, man, I lost 60%. What's risk management? Well, I call this the lotto technique because I'm willing to lose 50 or 60% of my position. Let's say day 2. Let's say I only get 40%. Day 3, I only get 40%. Day 4, I only get 40%. Day 5, I only get 40%. Guess what happens? 40, 80, 120, 160, minus that. If I traded with $300 for one contract, guess what? I just ROI'd 100%. This week, my $300 is now $600. Guess what you can do with week 2 now? Now you can stay at 300, which we recommend, stay the same contract for the whole month, but then week 2 comes, guess what? There's going to be times when we win all 5 days, but you have to prepare for that one loser. Is everybody following me understanding that? You have to prepare for that one loser, and this is why we call it the lotto, because we do have 50 or 60% losses. If you understand that, give me a 1 in the box right now. If you understand that. Excuse me. I'm going to erase all this. I see tons of ones. All right, so now, the next time that there is a losing trade on that, right? I don't want you to come for my throat in the chat box. You know what I'm saying? Don't come for my throat because we prepared for it. There's been times where I lost twice in 1 week, right? But the other 3 days, I made enough to get my money back. But I see tons of ones in the box. All right, so that's how I day trade. Using this right here, this is what I'll be calling out tomorrow. When we look for some swing trades, right? Same exact thing. Someone give me a random stock, just so you know we don't have it all dialed in, what we want to talk about ahead of time. Someone in the chat box put a random stock in. First one. Oh, man, PLTR. All right. PLTR. You got it. Susan says PLTR. She want to make it hard for us today. It's all right. All right, let's zoom out. All right, so you already know how we day trade. Tomorrow, we might call a couple swing trades out. What am I looking at, right? Well, I'm looking at the probability over here. It's about 87%. That's pretty good, but you got to be consistent with it, right? You got to be consistent with it. If I see this, we're on a daily time frame now, swing trading, right? And what I'm doing is there's two different ways that I could take this trade. We have our original Swing Master Pro AI buy right there. Here's our stop out. The next day, you would have been very happy with a large bet, right? But now, what do you do in this entire trend to the upside? You want to take more trades or not? I mean, everybody wants to take trades. So guess what we do? Remember that boogie system that we talked about on the day trading side? You got your first buy right here. Let's say you missed it. We wait for a reset. We get this reversal arrow here. There's your stop out. Price pushes up the next day. You might have got stopped out right there. Oh, man, I'm mad. Then we got the reversal arrow here. Price pushes up. You got the reversal arrow here. Price pushes up. Reversal arrow here. Price pushes up. Reversal arrow here. Price pushes up. Are you mad with this one losing trade right here? Are you mad with that one losing trade? No, because we prepared for it. Let's say that we lost 25% on this. And you're not going to lose 50 or 75% on these. The loss is 25, 30%. But let's just say you lost 50% there. Every other winner gave you 50 to 100% ROI if you bought 2 to 4 weeks of time. Everybody see that? Everybody see that? So when we take a call, right, we have two entries for the swing trades. You got your initial Swing Master Pro buy, which is hooked into the Discord, right? And we actually have something that me and Mike been working on. We're going to share with you guys probably on Tuesday. So you guys will be very, very happy. It's basically going to take this kind of work and make it more simplified, right? Or, and you're watching this, right? The first buy, the second one is, here's your entry. But the truth is, 30.83, this right there is probably 30 to 40% in one day. So you might not even have taken a loss on that day. It just depends on if you let a contract run or not. You might have got stopped out, but that's okay. You know what I mean? Second trade is our reversal arrows that you see right there. Green candles, only the green arrows. I'm not worried about any of these red arrows, but I'm worried about the green ones. Last green one right here, after earnings, 51, it's up there at 62. The third trade that we use, using this right here, does everybody see the AI swing, right? It says $2.45. This is how we are determining what we're taking for our strangles or our iron condors, right? So if we look at the closing, the last 10 minutes of the day, right here, right? The next day, 58, it pushes up to 60. Guess what? Is that less than $2.45 or $3? Yup. So guess what? This would actually be a winning day for premium. If we sold it on this day, the next one, there's another winner. There's another winner. There's another winner. There's another winner. If we sold it on this day would be a loss. Why? Because guess what? 41, and it closed way up here at 50. If you have no idea what I'm talking about with the Iron Condors, we have an Iron Condor masterclass. Mike actually made a notion that all these master classes in one place. So I will post this. Me or him will post it later in the Facebook group or tomorrow. That you guys can go back and rewatch all these master classes if you need a tune-up, right? I highly recommend it if you want to be very consistent with the swing trades, where you take the trades and you just collect the premium on it, right? Do we win all the time? No, we don't. We don't win all the time. But the probability is in our favor. Guess what? Greg said, I got you, Greg. Check it out. If this is a loss right here, right? 51, we close up here 55. All right, here's another loss. Guess what? There's a win right there. There's a win. There's a win. There's a win. I'm just going to check it. Check it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2. 6 and 2. This day right here, right? This is a win, a win, a win, right? And I already know 43 down to 41. That right there is less than that 240 because we're going to do 3. Guess what? Here's a win. Here's a win. Here's a win. Here's a win. I'm not going to keep going back and doing this, but look, check it out. You would have collected premium, right? Where you would have made $40, $50, right? And if you would have lost, you would have lost $60 or $50. So leveraging $100, taking these trades, someone with a small account would be able to navigate and participate. And if you were to trade this for the last month or so, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 7, 1, 2, 7 and 2, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and 2. Would you be happy with 13 and 2? Guess what? We're all happy because we understand the power of trading this consistently. If you started and came in on these 2 losing days, you're going to be upset. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not allowing it to work full circle to even get you out of the hole. Does that happen sometimes? Absolutely. And that's why we freely talk about it, right? And that's how we swing trade. We swing trade. We sell premium. We take the straight buys, straight sells, Swing Master Pro AI, and then we take the reversals. Now, what me and Mike been working on, since we're looking at PLTR, if the daily candles are green, now guess what it's going to do? It's going to come with a 30-minute time frame. And any time that we get a reversal arrow or buy, guess what? We're going to get a swing trade right there. There's a winner. We're going to get a swing trade right there. We want to take that one because earnings. We would take the swing trade right there, and we're looking for our next buy right now. So now if we keep going back, remember it's been bullish for a while. We got a buy right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th day, it pushes up. Guess what? It's a swing trade. We may have to hold for 3 to 5 days, but if you have 14 days of time, that's a winning trade. All right? Here's another trade that's going to be hooked into the Discord. Guess what? There's another winning trade. Me and Mike's job is to make your guys' job as simple as possible, and we just want to make as much money as we can and have fun doing it. You guys with me still? Put a 1 in the box. You guys with me? And we'll go over that on Tuesday, right? Once we get everything hooked in. So I see a couple of crypto traders in here. Let's just put on AVAX on it, right? And you leverage crypto trade. It is the same exact thing. Imagine having sell opportunity right there. Winner, sell, swing trades there. Buy, leverage winning trade. Sell, leverage winning trade. Buys. All right, you take a sell, lost. I'm sorry. Sell, winner, buy, winner. You see that? And that's on the swing trade side. Well, I don't swing trade, Brandon. Guess what? You come down here, do the same exact thing that we showed you on a 5-minute chart. Guess what? Let me ask you this for you leverage traders. If you took this reversal arrow right there and AVAX went from, I'm not even on the correct one. I'm on the market cap. Let me go to AVAX USD. But the signal will still be the same. Imagine it going from $33 in a short down here to $32.14. A $1.50 drop in the matter of, I don't know, say 30 minutes. Is that a good leverage trade? Absolutely. So then you pick a time that you trade. I like to trade in the cash session, so I like to go from 9:30. So I'd be like right there. I would take this short right there. I'd probably take this buy. It doesn't look like much, but it went from 48 up here to 78. Is that enough for a leverage crypto trade winner? Absolutely it is. You know what I'm saying? I'd go one step further and go in a smaller time frame to get a crazy entry. Anyway, moral of the story. You can day trade, leverage, you can swing trade with it. Same exact thing, the same way. The last thing that I'm going to share with you, why I do some of the things that I do. Same chart, different time frame. Come down here to the weekly time frame. You ever want to know why I invest in certain trades that I do? And this is why I'm talking about it right now, because Ethereum is actually giving us a buy. All right? If you are swing trading, how long would you hold it? It just depends on your exit plan. It depends on what market you're trading, Sarah. If you're in options, you're limited to time. So I would recommend, if you're new or anybody's new, go 4 weeks expiration time. And if we go back to let's just look at Amazon real quick. I mean, I'm not pegged to, how do I want to say this? If you're in 2 weeks of expiration time, you kind of want to get out of the trade a little bit faster, right? So if I'm buying this swing trade right here, right, and my stop out's right there, and I'm in 2 weeks of time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Guess what? I'm in profits right there. So I would counter this question back to you, Sarah, and say, why are you taking a trade? Are you taking it to hold it for a certain amount of time, or are you taking it to make money? Me personally, And you can answer it in the chat box. But me personally, I take swing trades to make money. Going back to my first mission statement where it's like, look, I want to make more to bless more. I want to be a helper in the community. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, if I have 14 days of time, I'm going to get out a little bit quicker, right, in a trail stop. But if I got 4 weeks of time, I may go in a looser trade. Does that make sense, Sarah? Or like a looser trail stop. You follow me? Make money, yes, absolutely. So it goes back to this too. I saw one of the questions where, say we take this trade right here, right? How do we pick options when we're looking for a swing trade? Well, if the share price right here is $188 and we see TP up here is at 197, I'm probably taking a 195 call or a 190 call, right? So my call would be, we'll just say 195. 195 with 2 weeks of time. Knowing that I have a target of up here, it doesn't mean I'm necessarily holding it to the target. Why? Because if I end up taking a loss on this and it comes down, I can't lose more than 100%, and you're not going to lose 100%. You might lose 30, 40, 50% with that time. But in a couple days up, we might be up 100+% right here, even before we hit the target. You follow me? So in this instance right there, I'm using the TP1 to give me a guideline, right? To give me a guideline of the option strike that I'm taking. Because it says 195, the share price is 186, right? I can still take that, but the share price doesn't have to hit 195 for you to be profitable. And I think that's a common misconception in the option world. Does everybody follow me on that? Just because we take a options trade that is not at the share price doesn't mean we have to hold it till the share price gets there, for one. For two, doesn't mean we can't make money before the share price gets to that, right? So then you come back over here to our probability where it says 85. That tells us that from our entry, right, from an investment standpoint, it's going to hit TP1 before it hits the stop loss, right? If you have 2 weeks of time, you may not be able to hit TP1 because remember, you are constrained to time with your specific options trade. Does that make sense? Just wanted to put that out there, right? Awesome. She says yes. So real quick before we open it up to questions or anybody else that wants to chime on, the same exact thing that we day trade and we swing trade with, guess what? That's how we invest, right? And since we got some crypto people in here, and I like the stock market, ETHE is a way for us to buy shares in the stock market. I'm coming back down here to the daily time frame, and this is why you hear me invest, right? Why do I invest? Well, I sit back and wait until certain things present themselves, right? I believe day trading for my job, for me. Second, swing trading to help grow my account. Use the profits of both to pay the bills and invest into the retirement for free, right? So you got to buy right here, and I got to buy right there. This buy is at $8.76. Hit a high of 47. Now, I'm not saying you're going to be able to hold it for that long because remember, Jamar taught me a good thing. You don't make money unless you take profits. Your account does not grow unless you take profits, right? So at some point, you need to take profits on your investments, right? Because there's always going to be another opportunity. You took your trade here at $8 and it went up here to 16. You just did 100%. Why not sell out and let half ride? Then way up here, you made another 100, 200%. Sell out, and you still got house money in it. If you're fearful that this is going to happen, don't sell out of your full position. But just know, there will be another opportunity. Get a huge reset, next buy right here at $10, hit a high of 35. Not saying you're never going to hold it to the tippy top, but could you have held it from $9 or $10 to $20? Absolutely. There's another 100% return from a free house money trade on an investment. Guess what we're about to get on Ethereum right now? If this candle closes tomorrow, right here, right where it's at, we're going to get a buy. Anyway, that's how we use the tools, right? And whether we day trade, swing trade, and we invest. So tomorrow, you come into the live trade room. Everything we just talked about, you're going to see this in action tomorrow and understanding why I call out some of the things that I specifically do. If you have a better understanding of what I do and you can be prepped for tomorrow, just give me a DCG in the box real quick. Just give me a DCG in the box to make sure I did what I needed to do for us all to make money tomorrow. But hey, if anybody has any questions, now's your time to shine. Who wants to go first? I see the DCGs coming in the box. Let's go. All right. Anybody who wants to come on? Jamar, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey,
I'm hopping in. I seen Mike say you're talking fast. I needed to hop on this call, but hey, one of the things that on the selection side of selecting, I use ATR, and I know you have the swing master with the take profit. On expansion days, chop days. One of the questions I got from someone is like, how much are you gonna, when do you get out of profit? And for me, I always say that I use whatever strategy I'm using. I'm going to use that to tell me to get out of a trade. And so, of course, I use momentum. But on a trade here, for your trades, I know that you say you use stops and you trail out. Do you want to explain that a little bit on every trade, or certain trades do you say, hey, I'm gonna decide to stay in a little bit longer, and wait for it to hit, or do you always use the strategy to say, hey, I'm getting out on the first take profit or the second take profit? Can
hey,
you can you kind of yeah.
yeah, yeah. We can elaborate on that. So, it's pretty set in stone for me, but not 100%. So let me explain. If I'm in a day trade and I'm taking a let me pull up SPY and I'm taking a same day expiration, right? I may not hold it because I understand that time decay might kick in and hurt me. With the lottos that you hear Mike say as well. So like when we take like SPX or SPY, it's similar. If I'm taking a trade and it sucks because this is the last signal right here, but that's all right. If this signal printed over here, this will be our entry. This will be our stop out. That would be TP1. So if I'm in a same day expiration trade, understanding that down here would be TP1, right? I know I got a little bit of a reset, and as price would come back down, as long as it gets close to TP1, what I do is I'll put a trail stop in, and all I'm simply doing is ensuring, right, that the trade doesn't simply come back and come all the way up here and I take a max loss. Because one thing I personally don't like is when I'm in a winning trade and I end up taking a loss on it, right? So if I'm in a day trade, it really just depends on how quick and how fast the stock moves in my favor. Now, if I'm in a swing trade, there's a couple different things that I may look at, right? So let's just pull SPY up again since we're talking about it. And we could say we have a buy signal here. All right. Same thing. If I have 2 weeks of time, I'm not giving myself the luxury or opportunity to let it trend. But if I buy 4 weeks or 6 weeks, like I've seen you do multiple times, give yourself some time. One of the things I like to do is I like to take my candles and put it down here to the Heiken Ashi, and I will do something just like this, where you get your buy right there, and if I have time on my side, I don't really set a tight trail stop in a sense. I may let it go until the first red candle. So this will let me hold the trade for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well, this day I might get stopped out because I would anticipate a little bit of a reset, right? Now we did hit TP1 before that, but if I'm in this trade with 2 weeks of time because I didn't want to spend the premium, right, to hold that trade for a little bit longer, then I'm going to go risk free a lot faster because this is my example right here. If I take the call right here, right, where we got the buy, and here I'm up 20%, 30%, 40%. Now I'm up 50%. Then I come back down. I may be break even though I'm still above my loss because as it gets closer to my expiration, if I got 2 weeks, this candle right here will be my expiration day, right? So I don't want to get in a situation, right? Because I want to make consistent profits and grow my account. I want to get in a situation where I'm going to go risk free in these candles, even though I never hit my TP1 yet, if I have a smaller amount of time. Now, if I have 4 weeks or 6 weeks or 8 weeks, you best believe I'm going to take it right here and I'm going to hold this trade till it gets somewhere a little bit closer to TP1. And at that time, now we're talking 3-digit ROI returns. You know what I'm saying? Which is beneficial for all of us because if we're going to take a 50 or 40% loss down here, But up here, you're up 300%. Guess what? That's exciting. Now you're going to grow your account. Who cares about the one loss that it'll present itself? Same situation over here. You get your buy here. This will be your stop out. And in 1-2 days, you're up 100, 200%, even with 4 weeks of time. At that point, if I have that profitability on the table, I'm going a little bit quicker or a little bit sooner. But in this case, it would have hit TP1 regardless. Next example right here. This would be our stop out. We're up here at TP1 in 1 day. I would definitely go risk free if I'm up triple digits, and then let a contract or two ride if I had multiples.
Well, so the reason I just bring that up is, some folks, they don't, when they get stopped out or they take profit, and I know for you, you trade live in the morning. um Sometimes the money comes easy and it comes quick, and then they get back in the market, and then they get into another trade, or they go back into it because they only been in the trade for 5 or 10 minutes, and they want to trade again. you know Identifying, each person has their, I guess, tolerance. And for me, I take a couple of trades. I like to be in the trade all day. I like for it to run. But I know for, the strategies that you teach on the open, you may be done by 7:30, 8 o'clock. And, how do you prevent going back in the market, or, is it a discipline thing, or is it, hey, what, there's plenty of bullishness. What would you recommend to those guys that are using and trading open with you? Because you just say you're going to trade the live, and then they still have, is it recommended that they just top for the day, right? And don't trade again.
Hey, dude, that's why I love when you come on, right? Hey, I love it. So now listen to this, right? And I would revert it back, not to you, but to everybody else or anybody that's going to come on the call. So, do we win 100% of our trades? Yes or no? Right? Every single one of us is going to say no. We don't win 100% of our trades. So, I say that to say this. To me, it is a 100% disciplined thing, because just hear me out. If you come in, anybody, and you get the first trade, right, and you're up, say, $400, if you average $400, right, besides the point, if you average $400 or $350 a day, you just made $100,000 at the end of the year, only trading for 30 minutes to an hour, right? But the real reason why I do this is because the market, to me, over the course of the year, has 3 different phases, right? The open, you're going to get nice volatile moves typically, and then you heard the lunchtime where they leave, whatever they do. So typically from 9:30 to 11:30 or 12, you get enough movements for us to be able to put stops in place and take profits. From 12:30 to about 2:30, I like to say the market typically trades sideways, which is a lot harder for people that are looking for nice trends, right? And then 2:30 to 4, that volatile stuff comes back in. I say all that to say this. Let me ask you, and everybody in the room right now. Yes, this is recorded, bro. It's recorded. If we took a trade and we won our first trade, right? And let's just put a dollar amount on it, and we lost. We were risking $300 to make $300, and we won. We won our first trade, and we won. Then we took a second trade, and we had a little bit larger of a stop, say $400, and we were going to lose 400 to make 400, right? Just say that for an example. And let's say we lost. Now we just ended the day at a negative $100 with 2 trades. So now, naturally, as a human psychological part in your mind, you want to go back into markets because you were green. Then you just transitioned to being red, but now you want to get back into green. So then you tell yourself that there's opportunities, and now you go against some of your rules. I'm speaking for myself, by the way. Then I would go against my rules looking for a trade, and then I would take a green day to go to red to go even a little bit deeper into red. So then another situation is this right here. Let's say you say you win the first trade, you win the second trade. What do you want to do? Win the third one, the fourth one, the fifth one? And now I'm going to make full circle, and I say that to say this. I know that you cannot win 100% of your trades. So if you take 1 or 2 trades and you have a 100% win rate, I'm just here to tell you that there's going to be a loss coming, and you're going to take that 100% win rate and turn it into a 75% win rate or a 65% win rate, right? if you can guarantee on this specific day that you got one or two winning trades a day and you have a 100% win rate, you can take off for the rest of the day knowing that you just outperformed every other person in the market and come back and try again tomorrow and do the same exact thing. Is that a good situation to be in? Put a one in the box if you guys think it is, put a two in the box if it's not. So my logic behind it is this. If I can get a 100% win rate and be done for the day, I don't have no stress to do. I can go eat lunch with my family. I don't got to think about nothing, and I get to enjoy the rest of the day. While knowing that even winning 80% of your trades or 75% of your trades is still phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? But if you have that 100% win rate, you just now outperform all but everybody else, and I'm done for the day. And that's my logic behind it. Why I say, look, get one or two winning trades a day and walk away.
So, for the people on this call, I mean, I'm looking at your chart, Brandon. Everybody, trades with different time frames. Like for me, I trade on a 23-minute chart. Normally, I'll look at the trades when it's open price action in 5 and 9 minute increments. But, for me, I look at it like, hey, I'm going to sit down for an hour or two and I'm going to use a 23-minute chart and I'm going to see candle patterns for at least two or three. So like if I see two red on a 23-minute, then to me that's telling me that the trend is short or is selling. And if I see two gap up in the morning on 23-minute, it's telling me that it's bullish. So I think also for people when they sit down, if they're trading on a 5 minute and they're trading with you and they start trading with the open, your expectation to be in the trade may be a lot shorter. When I'm trading on a 23-minute, my expectation is I want to be in front of the computer for at least an hour, right? And so I think that is a big variance. So when guys are looking at a trading strategy and also the trend or looking at a chart, I zoom out to the 1 hour, the 1 day, because I want to see the overall trend because I trade trends. And so, I think the variance when we come on these calls as a mastermind and we sit on your call, people also have to apply it to what their strategy is because I see some people go back in the market, but if they're using, a future strategy or a crypto strategy, with crypto, we look at 1 hour, 2 hour, and we're looking at it for the trend for the entire sector of cryptocurrency. And so I think that's a big variance for people to understand for a trader is that you have to have your type of trades and identifying what your trade is and identifying the chart you're looking at. So when I hop on a Brandon call, I'm looking at, how Brandon trades and what he's teaching. It's based on his strategy and how fast he's in and out the market. He's out of the market way before I am on a daily basis. And I also do a lot more research because I'm trading. I want to know, hey, this whole entire sector is good. Or if I'm trading crypto, hey, the total volume is going up. So I think it's a variance, the understanding that, what is your trading strategy and what's your expectation. So some people, they don't sell and they get in the trade and they're up and they don't sell because they don't have any expectation. They're like, oh, well, I was like, what were you waiting for? What are you waiting for to sell? What are you waiting for to take profits? And that's the same thing when I'm looking at his chart. It's like, he's using something different, and you have to be able to understand that. You have to ask yourself, what am I waiting for to buy? What am I waiting for to exit? And on these calls, when we, whether it's me, Mike, that's one of the things you want to know is like, hey, well, what's going to determine when you exit? And what's going to determine, how long I'm in that trade. And so for me to explain that I'm using a 23-minute chart and I'm looking for that red candle on the momentum to change to red. If it doesn't change, then I'll stay in that trade. And I might stay in that trade all day. Right. And that's how I get the percentage I get. But for Brandon, he may trade 10 contracts and take, 1,000 or 2,000 in contracts, and it goes up 30-40%, and he's happy. He's made his $400 or $500 and he's done. So you also have to know that too, because I see some people, they'll buy 1,000 or 2,000 in contracts, and then they'll just hold it and they'll be like, oh, I'm down 40%. It's like, well, now you're down $1,000, and you pay You went in with 2,200, 23. Why did you buy so many contracts with no plan? And
Yep,
that's
yep.
and then you're like, well, I lost a lot more, and it's like, well, you held for a lot longer, and you didn't have a exit plan on the size of your. Because a lot of times, if you go heavier with contracts, that means that it takes less for it to move for you to make profits. So you're going to get out of it a lot faster. Whereas I take less of contracts, I can buy into it. So I'm willing to for to hold through drawdowns or hold throughout days when it goes up and down because I don't have that much at stake, right? Because I'm not risking that much. So if I'm only in 500, 600, I can do a 50% hold because it's only down $300. But if you're trading with 3,000 and you're down 50%, you're looking at 1,500, and that's when guys are start taking bigger and bigger losses. So I think that's an important thing for any trader to realize is, certain contracts, you're going to pay more for those contracts, and then you're going to also have to be able to hold, when that normal 30 or 40%, variation in the day is going to impact you different based on how much money you have in the market because you're looking at the money in the market. I'm down $800 or I'm down 1,000, whereas you start off looking at percentages.
Yep,
And
yep.
so that's a challenge to scale up or scale down, but you have to believe in the strategy and you have to have one before you even scale up.
Yeah.
So, it's easier for guys to trade with a small amount because they're not worried about the money. But then when they start trading with 5 or 10 contracts or 20 contracts, now all of a sudden they're a lot more nervous because they're looking at the dollar amount and they're not focused on their strategy. So when
Absolutely.
you're on these calls, what you're doing is determining which strategy am I going to apply to use this, because, also how much am I trading with, what strategy I'm going to use, and then also the percentages, right? No strategy, even if you use AI, says 100%. It says 90% probability, 80% probability. So what happens if you happen to get in on a day where it's the 10% or 20%? The expectation is that 9 out of 10 times I can win a trade, but that the one time I don't, I can't take a big loss. And that comes down. So when Brandon talks about risk management, you know, we also want to talk about the risk management of that one time or 2 times that I trade that it doesn't go my way. How much am I willing to risk and still be able to stay in the game?
And that's kind of being like a defensive minded in a sense, where it's like you always want to protect your chest. So like each day the market moves differently in a sense of some days you have news where it's going to be a little bit more volatile, so your stops are going to be a little bit larger, right? For me speaking on myself, my stops are going to be larger than what I would like. So there's certain days where I would scale back the contracts because I like to lose the similar dollar amount per risk management, which you guys hear me preach all the time. So like I think, look, if we have an 80-90% win rate, what's going to happen when I take the 2 losses? And can the 2 losses come back to back? Absolutely. You know what I mean? So it's like, is that going to prevent me from not trading my plan? Absolutely not. So for instance, like since I'm a visual guy, if I would take let me see. Let's say I take this trade right here, right? And this would be my stop out. And let's just say the loss would be 40%. And if I put $2,000 in this, I may not want to lose $800, right? But if I'm okay losing $400 or $500, I may go back and take, instead of putting 2,000, I may put 1,000. But then the previous day, let's say I take this trade right there, and this would be my stop. I may take $2,000 worth of contracts because I know I'm going to lose 500 here, but right up there, the second I hit whatever I'm going to lose, that's when I go risk free. So like my trades are kind of based off market structure in a sense where like today, if we took this arrow right there, there's gonna be my stop. You have to take action at some point. So because I like measured moves, I'm gonna measure this right here, and I'm gonna say, well, at this point, I'm going risk free. I got 3 choices. I can either take profits, I can either move my stop loss one or 2 ticks into profits, or the third, I can put a trailing stop in. And that's just how I trade. Then you come over here where you take another trade, you see this loss is a lot greater than this loss. So a lot of people mess up because they use the same dollar amount every single trade. Well, I flip it around from a risk management standpoint, and I'm defensive. I want to know if I take this loss, how much I'm going to lose on this trade, and how much I'm going to lose on this. If you use the same dollar amount, I can't lose $1,200 here and lose $300 here. That's not risk management. You know what I'm saying? So Jamar hit the nail on the head. You just got to be defensive.
Well, yeah, because when we're in a trading environment, everybody talks about the wins and how well and the strategy, what it works and how well we do. But the first priority in any trading is risk management. And you'll see people use their entire account on trades, and they'll get away with it. Maybe for a couple of months, they'll get away with it for 6 months. But the one time they don't, they take big hits, and psychologically it messes them up going forward. And so if we can ingrain that, hey, I'm going to be in the game forever, for life, and it's just like when we live life, we only get to die once. So you're not gonna live your whole life taking big risks. You're not just jumping out of planes with no parachute, or you're not just riding a motorcycle, getting drunk, doing 150 miles per hour every time you ride. You're not gonna do that. And so in trading, you don't want to have that mentality. You want to have a mentality that you always gonna get home, that you always gonna you always gonna have money to trade with. And I think that is something that's not talked about because nobody wants to talk about the one time you mess up. Like nobody wants to talk about life insurance. Nobody wants to talk about when they bury, what happens when they die. It's almost like they want to, not even think about that aspect. And so as a trader that's saying, hey, we're going to do this for life, we also got to think that, hey, risk management is important. And I got to protect the one time that I mess up, the one time that, that I could blow my entire account. Because then psychologically, you're going to think about it the next time. And that's why a lot of traders can't sustain this as a lifestyle because they don't want to think about blowing their account. They don't want to think about dying. They don't want to think about what's going to happen at the funeral, right? And if we can get you to say, hey, you know what, the number one goal is to get home safe, right? The number one goal is to be able to trade again tomorrow. And once you have that mentality, $500, $1,000, whatever you make in the market, will give you another opportunity. And I think that is, part of the strategy. So when a guy says, hey, I can make $400 or $1,000 and stop, he's really saying that, hey, I can trade again tomorrow. I have an opportunity to do it again tomorrow. And some days it's just going to run and you're going to make more money than you plan for, right? But you can always cut your losses off. You can always say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to lose more than $200 on any day, right? Because you have control over that. And that means that I have another opportunity to trade again, right? And I think that is an important aspect to add to any strategy, which none of the people that really teach want to teach that because they want to say, hey, my stuff works and you're going to make money and we're all happy, we're all good. But what about the days we're not? Right? And those are the days that will keep you in the game when you used to say, you know what, it's part of trading. I had a day, it didn't turn out. I went fishing. I didn't get any fish, but I'm gonna go back tomorrow. I'm not gonna starve to death. I know that. Right? I'm gonna catch the fish, but every time I go throw it out there, it doesn't mean I'm gonna have an easy time. And so like today the market was, I traded energy and I traded some of the quantum, but I got out. I got out of the market because it wasn't, all this, the PPI, the Fed speaking, it was a short market. If I was trading short, I don't like trading short all the time. It would have produced more, but I had to be happy with like, hey, I got good trades in, I'm good, and I'll be back tomorrow. And I think that is, for someone successful to say, hey, I've been trading for a long time, that has to be the mentality is that, hey, I'll be trading again tomorrow, or I'll be trading for the rest of my life. And when I say that then there's no urgency in having to prove I made money or made a lot of money today. I know I didn't take a big loss today. And so for that, that's still a win in my book.
Very, very well said, bro. Very well said. Anybody else have anything they want to say? Ask any questions? Feel free to hop on. Going once, going twice. Anybody? You guys are good. Just remember tomorrow, same Zoom you're on right now. You could do live trading if you want. You could throw some questions in the box if you need to. You don't need to be shy. Don't bite. But if we don't have any questions, then hey, I'm gonna give you back your night. So a couple more seconds. Anybody? If not, hey, we good then. All right. Well, hey, if you ever have any questions or comments, right, just tag me in the Discord or tag me in the WhatsApp chat. If I don't answer, just tag me again. You know what I'm saying? So tomorrow, live trading, be there. I'll open the Zoom up at 9:15. I'll post a link in the Discord as well. I appreciate you guys, and let's have fun. Let's make some money, and let's rock and roll. So if y'all's like I said, you guys put the DCG in the box. I think we all good. Appreciate you guys. You the rock stars. Yep, they not a problem. And hey, let's get it. So hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow. And stay tuned. And we're gonna rock and roll. So appreciate it. You guys have a blessed one. Catch me on the next one.